Okay, so these are the workspaces, the interface. Here is source. Here you can see source. You can see program, timeline, then projects, and that's what we are working on. Named it tutorial day 1. So what's the question before I continue? Okay, so let us liken video editing to building a house. Yes, I think so that we can have a better understanding. So let's assume that you are a builder, or okay, let's assume you're a builder and you want to build a duplex. You want to build a duplex. Okay, so let's assume we want to build a duplex. What we want to build. So we are comparing being a video editor to building a duplex. So for you to build a duplex, you must first imagine what you want your structure to be like. So you want to edit a video, you must have a vision of what you want to achieve at the end. So you must, if it's a movie or you are into wedding film, documentary, commercials, or whatever, you must have a picture of what you want to achieve, and that will guide you on what you do while editing. And just like building a house, there are different processes. There are different processes before you can start building. So that being said, we are comparing editing to building a duplex. To building a duplex. So if you want to build, what is, you bring in your materials, this you'll be needing to build the house. So which is because of this place under your projects. You can see it's written here, import media to start. This is where you import all the stuff you'll be needing. Your video, your picture, your music. When you double click on this place, it will take you to your file, and you can go on any location and import whatever you want to work on. Import whatever you want to work on. So that's the purpose of this project panel. This is your project panel. So you bring in everything you will be using. All right, so let's try to import the video and see. So double click here to take you to, let's go to desktop. Let's bring in a video. Okay. My screen is here. My screen is here. Alright. Okay, I'm trying to see which video I can bring in. Okay. So let's bring in a video. Double click on the project panel, and I'll go to my desktop. Then what am I doing? Where is this? So this is a video. I can double click or click on open. So you see, import files. If I have multiple files, I can do it the same way. So This is a video, and let us bring in music too. So what I'm doing now is I'm bringing in building materials. I'm bringing in my building materials. So let's say we just brought sand. This video is our sand. Now let's get cement for the building. So let's get cement. I double click again on my project panel. This is a sound. Chant more. Okay, let's bring in this chant more master. Double click again. So this is a sound. You can see the icon. So this is video and this is sound. We have our sound. We have our cement. My screen first. What about my screen showing? Is it showing? Please just notify me in case you can't see my screen. Okay, let me comment. So we brought in the video, we brought in sound. I double click again. Mr. Daniel says not seeing my screen. Are you seeing my screen there? Mr. Daniel, maybe you should check your settings too. Okay. Let me fix this. Alright. I want this the software screen to be showing fully. We brought in the video, the sound or music. So now let's bring in picture. Let me just double click. So we have video, we have music, we have a picture. So we are trying to build a duplex. So let's say we have our sand, we have our cement, we have our block, water and other things. So that's the purpose of this project panel, where you bring in your stocks, the meaning to achieve what you want to achieve. So you may have clips, up 100 clips. All you need to do is import them here. What we did to all these project panel, we insert them and they are here in the project panel. So another thing as beginners is to learn how to organize your files. So if I'm having multiple clips, multiple sound and pictures to bring in, this will be the proper way to bring them in. So I'm going to clear this. And bring them in again. But now I'm going to make them more organized. So when your files are well organized, it makes your work easier. Especially as a beginner, it makes your work fast and more well arranged. So all you just need to do is to click on this folder. You can see even if I click on it, it's showing new bin. That's like creating a new folder. So when I click on it, this is a bin, like a folder under your project panel. Then I'm going to rename this to videos. I'm going to rename this to videos. Okay. So anything that has to do with video, I'm going to be dropping it in this folder. Then we create another one and make it let's say sound. sound. So what we are doing now is we are organizing our files. We are organizing them sound. So that's the second folder. And let's create another one and call it. So you can either click on this folder or you right click on here and click new bin. So let's call this pictures. Pictures, that's if you'll be working with pictures. So we are trying to organize our files so that we don't just have everything jam-packed. Because if you are working on a project that has maybe like 100 videos, 10 pictures, and you have some sounds, a number of them, you can't just drop everything in the project panel. It will be more stressful for you to be trying to locate them. So, or let's say you want to edit a movie. Creating these folders will help you to be more organized, and you can even go as far as, if it's a movie, for example, create a folder for scene 1, create another folder for scene 2, like that. So when you are looking for a clip, you just go straight to folder. You don't have to be beating around the bush. So this is video. Project panel where we are bringing materials we'll be needing to build our duplex. So when you click on the video, we can now bring in our video inside the video folder. So you can see project panel tutorial day 1 / videos. So double click. So this is a video I want to use, or let me move to videos. This is one video. Then click on control key. Then so I've selected 2 videos. If you have more than that you want to bring, you click on all of them and click on open. So my 2 videos are imported to the project file under the video folder. So that's for the videos. Alright, so now sound. I'm on sound now. So again, and I have 2 sounds here. Let me click on the 2 and bring them in. So they imported. So these are the sounds. So I have 2 items in my video folder, items in my sound folder, and then pictures. Double click again. Let me bring in, let's say 2 pictures, 1 and 2. Open. Yeah. So I have. So this is well organized. You can change the view by clicking on this place. No, sorry, this place. It will change to list, like you can change it to a list view or grid view. When you click on this first stuff after this padlock, use it to change it to list view, and use this icon to change it to icon view. So this for list view. And then when you click here, you can see everything you have under pictures, everything you have under sound, everything you have under videos. Unlike this other view, this icon view, you need to click inside the folder to see the stuffs. But under this view, under the list view, I can just click here and bring whatever I want to bring in. Okay, so that's for the project panel. The project panel where we bring in all the materials we will be needing to build our duplex. Don't forget, we are trying to. So this is the duplex we are trying to build. So what we've just successfully done now is to what we've just successfully done, bring in materials we'll be needing to our complex. So we have the materials here already. So the next interface is our source. As here, source. Presently there is no clip here, so this is our source. What happens in this place is where we are likely to building, where you measure the portion of, for example, you have your, you measure the portion of the sand you want to mix to build. This source here you measure your sand, measurements, measure your water, and every other thing you mixing together to achieve what you want to achieve. So, okay, these are two videos. Let's click on this first one. Let's click on this first one. So, the video is about, I see the duration here. The whole video is about 1 minute 24 seconds. That's the whole video. So what happens here is you cut out the portion. You cut out the portion you will need. That's what happens in this source panel. In this source panel, you cut out the portion you need. So let me play this.
Hi, my name is Ajala. I'm a filmmaker, and one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about making is the ability.
Network. Okay. Are we still following? Let me know if you're following. I'm not sure. Play.
I was a filmmaker to tell impactful stories in my own ways, which of course makes him the major tool for us.
Okay, so you can use this. You can use your cursor to move this indicator. As this indicator, you can use your cursor. You can use your cursor to move this to. You can use your cursor to move this to any point you want to cut out. Instead of playing everything from the beginning, I said this is where this source panel is where you cut out the portion you want. It's where you cut the portion you want in use in your project. So if you know exactly, okay, for this on the video, I want to cut it from after where the name should. Let me increase this. Okay. So you can increase any interface by dragging left or right. You can drag it to use it. So for more visibility, let me just increase it. So I want the video to start from after this name disappears. Okay. So, or if I'm not sure where I want to start from, I can play the video and pause it at exactly where I want to.
I am so passionate about filmmaking, the ability I have.
So I'm going to pause it. This is where I want you to start. So what you do is you cut it with this tool, mark. You can see this tool, mark in. Click on it. You can see it has highlighted this whole place. So what you successfully done is to mark in as to select where you want to start from. So what you have to do now is to set where you want it to stop. Otherwise, if you don't mark out, it means you are using it from here up to the end. So wait for and look for where to cut it out.
Maker to tell a powerful stories in my own unique ways. Each of us makes him a major tool for positive change.
All right. So I want to cut it out before this picture shows. This picture of this handsome guy. The picture shows. I want to cut it out. Sure, we are still going. Um, Mr. Motosh, is your network good now? Okay, so I will cut it out. I can slightly move this back. See? So I want it to start exactly where the picture showed. So this is the point. This where my cursor is here. This is the point I want it to stop. So all I need to do is to mark out. That's the opposite of mark in. So I mark out. So what I've done is I've successfully cut out the point I want. So if we are likening it to a building, out of a bag of cement, I don't want to use the whole bag of the cement. I just want to maybe fetch just quarter of the one bag of cement. So that's what I've successfully done by marking in with this tool and marking out with this. So you can see this highlighted place. So this is the portion I want to use. That's out of a video about 1 minute 24 seconds. I've only cut out about 5 seconds out of it. All right. So the next step is, don't forget, the first step is we brought in materials to be needing to do our duplex, the video, picture, sound, and now we are under the video. We are in the video folder, and then when you double click on the video, and when I double click on this, it went to the source panel, which is where you cut out what you want and drop it in your timeline. So this place is very, very important. Or you can either go through here, or I can decide to drag the whole thing and drop on my timeline. So this is your timeline. This is our timeline. This is where no mixing is happening. This is where we are mixing our sand, cement, this place there. You can see it's right up here, drop media here to create a sequence. So I can drop my sand, my cement, my water, my gravels, everything. I'm going to mix it here. So after bringing in all the materials, I measure the portion I want in this case. So coming to this place, what you are trying to do is this, to mix them together, and you are trying to achieve the picture of the building. All right, so there are different ways of bringing this here to your timeline. I drag the video. When you use your cursor, drag the video to this place. You can see there's a plus. There's an icon of a hand, I mean. So just drop it, and it's going to drop on its own. Following. All right, so you drag this from your source panel. Do that again. Control Z. You drag, after cutting out the portion we want, you click on video and drag it to your timeline. So this is your timeline panel, and this is your indicator. Use it to move. This is your indicator. This is your indicator. You can use it to move your cursor to move to any point in the video. So now these two panels look similar, but they are not the same. These two panels are similar, but they are not doing this. This program panel is previewing what you are doing here, what you're doing on your timeline. Just monitor. Yeah, just like a monitor. So because this is a blue stuff, for you to know which point of the video you are, or to whatever you are dropping on your timeline, whatever you are dropping here, this is where you put it. So just like cooking a food, when you are cooking a food, you are dropping it, you are dropping everything, you put your seasoning and everything. This is your pot where you view what you are cooking. Like, is the water in the food enough? Is the maggi enough? This is where you preview it. You understand? And like in a building, if you are mixing your sand, your cement, your water, you need to preview what you are doing here if it's going to achieve what you intended. So that's for the program channel, panel. It does the work of a monitor to preview whatever you are doing on your timeline. All right, so your interfaces, major interface you under editing. So you have your project panel where you drop all your files. Then you have your source panel where you cut out the portion you want. And this is the timeline where you drop whatever has been cut out. Then this is your program panel where you review whatever you drop on your timeline. Where you review whatever you drop on your timeline. Wow. Okay. Any question before I commence? Is there any question? Okay, Mr. Motosho is asking a question. What is the name of the last panel, sir? Source, yeah, it's source. It's called source. Source, sir, is source. The source panel. The source panel. So we have the timeline panel, the projects panel, the right word is source monitor. The right word for this is source monitor for this place. Is source monitor for this one. This is program monitor. Source monitor, program monitor. Source monitor is where you preview from the source. Like after bringing in the files into your project, when you double click, it takes you to your source monitor. That's where you cut out the portion of whatever you want to use, and then you drop it on your timeline panel. See your timeline panel. Then your program monitor. Your program monitor is where you preview what you are working on your timeline. So these are the four interfaces you'll be working with as you edit, the basic ones: project panel, source monitor. So that's in their order now. You have your project panel first. That's where you bring in all your projects, like your files you will be using, and then your source monitor to measure out the portion you're using. Then you drop it in your timeline. Yeah, so this is your timeline. Then your program monitor, you preview whatever you drop on your timeline. So the program monitor shows the edited video from the timeline. All right. I want to show I'm not leaving anything behind. Okay, so this right here is called your audio meters. Audio meters. This here, when I play this video, this place starts moving. You will see the level of the audio. Okay, Mr. Mosho is asking me. Can we move videos from project panel to timeline? Yes, you can. You can move from here to here, which means you already okay. Let's try it. Let's drag directly from project panel to timeline. So we successfully done that. So it's possible, but this is just what I did before. Is the proper way of doing it. You can see and bring in your project panel directly to your timeline, and you can still cut out on your timeline. Get that? You can cut out on your timeline, but for as a beginner, you are trying to do it in a more organized, proper way, But this is the rule and can be broken. So, but it's better to know the rules before breaking them. So I can just delete this or play it, so that you can bring in your projects, whatever, whether sound, clip, or picture, you can drag it from the project panel directly to the timeline, which means you already know the quantity of what you need on your timeline. This stuff right here, this blue stuff right here. Okay, so I was trying to show audio meters. This place here is where is the level of your audio. Let me play it. You can see. So that's where you see the level of audio. So it's called your audio meters. It can either be showing. Let me enlarge this so we can see. Okay. It's having like it has this stuff like 2 cylinders. It means that the audio is a stereo. It's a stereo sound. Stereo sound. For those of us that are familiar with sound. But if it's just one side of this 2 cylinder stuff that is working, that is if the other side is empty and just one side that is going up and down, that means your sound is mono. It's mono. So which means if you are using an earpiece or a headphone to listen to the sound, it's only only one side of your headphone that will be working because the sound is mono. So including that down too, so that will show us maybe tomorrow how you can change the sound from mono to stereo. So that your audio meters. This is your audio meters. So the last stuff here that we explain is the tools panel. This place, these are the tools. Tools panel. This place. So we've talked about project panel number 1. Then we moved to the source monitor. We talked about the source monitor. Then after the source monitor, we talked about the timeline panel. Then after that, we've talked about the program monitor. then talk about the audio meters, and now we want to talk about your tools panel. Your tools panel. So this is the last thing I'll talk about for tonight. Your tools panel. So the tools panel is very simple to use. Very, very simple. But majorly, the tools you'll be needing under the tools panel are not that much as a beginner. As a beginner, the tools you'll be needing under this tools panel are 3. In fact, the others, so you may need them, but the most important ones are just 3. In fact, two, like 90% of the whole work you'll be doing using one, which is this pick tool, selection tool, I mean. So the selection tool is like your hand. You use it dragging, you can use it to do a lot of stuff. So what we have been using since we opened the software is the selection tool. It's the selection tool for picking. You can see the icon. It's what we use for. It's what we use to import our project into the project panel. As Ms. Jane saying, yeah, Ms. Jane, there will be a replay. All right, so we've been using this pick selection tool. Why am I calling it pick selection tool? That's what we use in our project into the project panel. We used to double click and it took us to the source monitor. That's what we used to drag this to this place, to our timeline panel. And it's what we are using to play what's on our program monitor to preview. So 90% of the time you work on your software, you'll be using this selection tool more. So for now, just focus on selection tool and then second razor tool. Just forget about number 1, 2. Forget this. Now leave this one, and to the 4th one, which is the razor tool. As the name implies, use it to cut. That's the only job. That's the work it does, to cut. So, for example, let me enlarge this since we are here. I want to cut this clip. So you can enlarge what is on your timeline. You can use this here to enlarge it. This blue stuff here is current time indicator. This blue stuff, current time indicator, just to move to any point of the clip on your timeline, and as you're moving it, it'll be showing on your program monitor. So I'm on explain the razor tool. So let's say I want to cut it from here, or at exactly 3 seconds, I want to use the razor tool to split the clip to 2. So let's move to 3 seconds. Current time indicator, as you see, as I'm moving it, the change here. So this is 3 minutes. Okay, so this is exactly 3 minutes. 300. So this is my razor tool. You can see it's already when I put on the clip, it changes. See? So just cut it. Let me zoom on that. So I just softly cut it with the razor tool. You can see it has split into 2. splitted into two. So let me cut at exactly 5 minutes again. Oh, at exactly 5 minutes, I cut again. So I've successfully divided the clip into three by using the razor tool. So I can come back to my selection tool. In my selection tool, as I explained, your selection tool is like hand, while these other tools are like your building equipment, maybe hand trowel, your shovel. You're using it to cut the block or to cut the. These are what all these tools are for. This selection tool is like your hand. Decide to drag this away with my selection tool. I can bring this forward. I can put it anywhere I want. I can put this anywhere I want on the timeline with my selection tool. So that's the work of selection tool and your razor tool. So if I bring these clips back together, I don't want this space in between them. I can either drag them back, but I have to be careful in dragging it back. I must make sure it's touching each other. Because if mistakenly climb, you can see now, if this client to bring here mistakenly climb this one, it's going to overwrite it. That means it's going to hit in this first clip. So what I will do is right click here and click on remove delete, or click here and click on backspace. When you click backspace, like in this empty space in between these two clips, when you left click now, when you left click on it and click on backspace, they are going to together. Or you right click and it's going to put together. Do the same thing here. I have all my clips together. And this selection tool, I also use it if I don't want to use the razor tool. I can use the selection tool to reduce the length of this clip. You can see. I'm in the duration. I've increased it back. I can use this selection to see the work of the razor tool. It's just that the razor tool will be more accurate if I've used my current time indicator to locate the exact point where I want to cut my clip. I can just use the razor to cut it. But I can still use my selection tool to achieve that. So if I'm playing it, I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to extend, for example, major. Okay, so major. So the guy is dialogue major. He didn't complete the statement. He wanted to say major tool. So I can use my selection tool to extend this. Wow, what a coincidence. It's talking about tool and I'm extending tool. So I can use my selection tool to extend this forward. So major tool. So major tools. I don't want him to add any other thing. So if you double click here, your audio is going to enlarge. If you double click here, your is going to enlarge. So okay, for now, just focus on selection tool. So I want the video to end where it says major tools. I don't want to. Okay. So I can use my selection tool to reduce it. Major tool filmmaker to tell major tool. So that's it. So can you use your selection tool to extend and use your clip? Razor to cut. Then lastly, the third one, but I'm putting them in order of priority. Your selection tool first, very important. Then your razor tool. You use your selection tool more than any other tool. Then your razor tool, and then lastly your type tool. type tool to type in text. Have type in text to explain that further tomorrow or next tomorrow. But majorly those are the three tools that you will be needing as a beginner. As a beginner, those are the major tools you'll be using. Selection tool is the first one, razor tool is the second one, and text tool, which is optional, depending on the project you are working on. Depending on the project you are working on. So, that being said, let me just do a quick the explanation of what we've done so far. I don't want to go beyond these points for tonight, so that we can ask our questions and we call it a day. Continue tomorrow. And continue tomorrow. Okay, so I said we want to liken video editing to building a complex. I said complex. Building a duplex. To building a duplex, and I showed us the picture of the duplex. So this is the duplex we want to build, this fine duplex. But before you start editing, you must have a picture in mind. What do you want to achieve? The video editing. Is it be a movie production, a documentary, a wedding film, commercials, whatever you want to achieve, you must have a picture of what you want to achieve. So let's say we want to build this duplex. As a builder, before you build, you must wait, somebody is asking if he's in the right room. You are in the right room, sir. So yes, the man is in building. So he's asking whether he's in video editing class. So sir, you are in the right place. So we want to build this duplex, and before you can achieve that, you must start from scratch. There must be a foundation. So we have project panel, we have source model, we have the time panel. So what happens here? Your project panel. This is your project panel. Let me enlarge it. This is project panel, and I talked about organization. Organization is very, very important as a beginner. Organization is very important as a beginner. Don't just drop everything into your project panel like that. Don't just drop everything into your project panel. Organize them. It's going to help you to achieve what you want to achieve faster. You don't have to be looking for your clips up and down. So we created a folder for videos, we created a folder for sound, we created a folder for pictures. So when you click in the video folder, we added 2 videos. This guy and this lady, we added 2 videos. And after you have videos or anything into your project panel, double click. Just double click here. When you click here, that's double click on this project panel. It take you to your computer, and then you go to any folder where you have clip. So our clip was on desktop and tutorial, I select this and select this and click on open. So that's how we achieve this, bringing in these two clips. And you can also bring in by minimizing your software, going to the folder itself, selecting the clips and dragging them into this place. It's still going to work, but this is the proper way. So that's for the videos. And then on the sound, we brought in two sounds into the sound folder the same way we brought in the videos. And then for the pictures, we brought in two pictures the same way. So while editing, if I want to use add sound to what I'm doing, I don't need to be going all over. I just go to the sound folder and pick whatever I want to pick. And I said we can change the view to a list view depending on how you like it, or when you click, it's going to be a list view or icon view. It's still the same thing. So you can see an extra, there's a clip here. It was not here before we started. Immediately, I dragged it from this source monitor to my timeline. It created this. This is called sequence. This is called sequence. So whatever I do here is what we come in. That I dropped outside the folder. So for you to stay more organized, I can create another folder for this sequence. Because you can have more than one sequence on your timeline. If I'm editing a movie, for example, I can decide to edit it by scene. So this one that on my timeline, now this is named Ajala. I can rename it. When I rename this, it's going to name what is on my timeline. So let's right click on this. You can also increase the size. So when I right click on this and click on rename, rename it to what now? Tutorial. Yeah. Change. So if I clear this, everything is going to clear. So this is a sequence. So if I'm going to be having more than one sequence, if I'm editing a movie and I want to edit the scenes independently, then bring them together later, I can have another sequence in front of this tutorial. I can have multiple uncountable sequences and name them differently. So that's for project file. And the source monitor. How did we get the source monitor? By double clicking on this clip here, we clicked on this clip here and took us to the source monitor. Source monitor is where we are able to cut out the portion of the video we need by marking and marking out, and then we drag the whole thing to our timeline, which is we are mixing all the ingredients, the sand, the cement, the water, putting the stuff together to see what our building is going to look like. So our program monitor is where we review what we are editing. So this is where the whole joining and cutting is taking place. The whole cutting and joining is taking place here. We are previewing it here. So when I play this, whatever I play is showing here, is showing here. So this is where I preview whatever is here. So that's that about that. And this is my tools panel. The most important is your selection. You'll be using it like 90% of the time. You'll be working software. Selection tool is what you use more. It's like your hand picking things, and then razor tool to cut. That's what we use to cut this clip into 3. And lastly, your text tool. So this is where we are going to stop for tonight. Yes, this is where we are going to stop for tonight. I will give room for questions before we call it a day. So please let us ask questions. We are going to continue from here tomorrow. There are still a lot of things to explain. But if we can practice these few that has just been explained, it's going to make sense. So that if you encounter any problem, you can ask your question, then we will be able to catch up facts. So any question before we call it a day? Network disturb a lot of people. We'll make the recorded available. Okay, I think maybe I should just unmute everyone so that if you have a question, you can let me unmute us. So if you have a question, you can ask.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the major basic things for a beginner
Sir?
to know? What are the major basic things for a beginner to know in editing?
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the question. Okay, as I said, the basic things is number one, number is practice. In fact, that's the foundation. Because whatever you are going to learn, when it comes to video editing, if you don't practice consistently, you can easily forget. So if you learn new today, you have to look for a way to practice it. In fact, you can practice just one, two, multiple times so that you can get used to it. Because if you don't practice, it's after learning after tonight, allow it to stay for a long time, it can easily disappear. So I think the first thing, the foundation is to practice. When it comes to video editing, you must be practicing constantly and be committed to practicing whatever you will be learning. And which are the basic thing? Understanding basic tools. Understand the basic tools. So under these tools panel, that's why I explain the function of all of the tools. Because even professionals don't really use more than these three I just explained. The selection tool is the most important one, then the razor tool. So to make it very, very simple, video editing is just all about cutting and joining. That's the simple way to explain video editing. Cutting and joining, that is the major thing you are doing. Every other thing is adding spices to it. Every other thing is spices. Because you can tell a story. The aim of video editing is to tell a story. You can tell a story with just cutting and joining, basically. So adding effects and other things, just like spices to make it interesting. But basically, video editing is just about cutting and joining. So, which is why in your panel, the most important tools are selection tool and the razor tool to cut. I think basically, those are just this. Then understanding this interface, which is not hard. When you practice it, you will understand it more.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, sir.
So I discovered that when you move a video from the what is it called, the source monitor to the timeline, then it
Yes.
came with a sound icon. So
Okay.
it did not transfer, it did not move any sound.
Wait, I'm coming. I didn't hear your question very well. Let me use my headphone.
upload from source to the timeline.
Yes.
Under it, there is a icon.
Under it, you can see the audio, I mean.
Yes, the audio. So is it the audio from the video or the another audio file?
No, it's the audio of the. Okay. I was planning to leave that to tomorrow, but since you've asked, let me explain. So what happened is, after we clicked on this video from our project panel and it came here to the source panel, after cutting out the portion we need to be on the timeline, when I drag on the video, let me clear this. So drag on this video, drop it on my timeline, it will bring both video and audio. But in a case where I don't need the audio, I just need maybe I'm working with a soundtrack and all I need is just video without the audio. These two icons there. Now when you double click on the source, it's going to enlarge it. Let me double click for clearer view. Alright. So you can see these two icons. It says drag video only. And this second one says drag audio only. So let me go back. When I use this first one, I use my hand. So as I say, selection tool is like your hand. You can see the icon changing to a hand. When I use this tool to drag this first one, which says drag video alone, it's only the video that will drop. The sound will not come. So you see on my audio channel, there is nothing there. So it's just video. And if let me Control Z, I need just the audio, just dialogue alone. Maybe I have some other clips I want to be showing instead of the guy talking here. On this second icon, if I drag, it's going to bring audio only. I won't change audio, you don't see. Audio only. So basically, that's it. Let me do that again. When I drag on, it's bringing video alone. When I drag the second one, it's bring audio alone. But when I drag the main video, it's going to bring both audio and video. I don't know if it's.
Yes, I get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, I answered the first question well about the basic things that is needed. Yes, sir. Did I answer the question right? Did you get the answer? Basic that needed for a beginner. People are complaining of network.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. People are complaining of network, but the recorded video will be made available probably before the next class. So, in the absence of any other question,
I want to ask a question about this subscription, because when I tried to log in on the app, I was told to subscribe. So is it how it will be? Are we supposed to pay maybe yearly or according to what is there for us to have access to it?
okay, that's for the software when you went to the site.
Yes, when I went to the site, it was asking me to
Yes, so what they do
subscribe.
is, let me share the screen again. When you go to their website, this is what you see. On the left side is if you are getting Premiere Pro alone.
Okay.
On the right side, you see Creative Cloud apps. That's we are getting Premiere Pro alongside other softwares, Photoshop, Media Encoder, After Effects, and others. They are up to 20. You can get all of that packages too. But they are giving 7 days free trial for both categories. Step free trial. Then when you like the software, then you pay it. Understand? So there are other ways people get their softwares, but uh, professionally and for the purpose of this class, this is what I'm going to recommend. There are a lot of other ways to get software, but this is the legal and professional way of getting your software. So that's that about the software. So you can get the free 7 days free trial first and see how it goes. Is it clear, ma?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So in the absence of any other thing, that will be all for tonight's class. We'll continue from where we stop tonight. We'll continue from there tomorrow. Thank you all for joining in from wherever we joined in. So I would like us to do a prayer we say before we say good night. Somebody is sharing something. Okay, before we say good night. Oh, Father Lord, we thank you for the class tonight. We sing your name, be highly exalted. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for how you've helped us so far, for the inspiration. Thank you for the life of everybody that joined from wherever they are joining in. We pray that as we continue tomorrow, there will be more insights and more knowledge in the mighty name of Jesus. As we go to sleep tonight, send your guardian angels over us. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' name we are prayed. Thank you, everybody, for joining in.
Amen.
Sorry for the